Good morning, everyone. I am Kay April and Uribe, and I will be reporting on pre-stage of group development. Understanding group dynamics and group development is essential to group planning and actual group practice. So in my report, I will talk about the pre-stage of group development in different perspectives. So I actually had a hard time um, finding resources for this topic since um, Google sources only show results that pertains to actual group formation na. So no elaboration on the pre-stage process was easily found. So fortunately, I was able to find some details. So I hope you will learn something and understand that this particular stage of group development is also essential. So information on various stages of group is well documented on literature. So if you search for stages of group development, we can see authors relaying their perspective on number of stages and the specific details on what exactly happens during each stage. But most models propose that all groups have a pre-group period and then followed by a beginning, a middle, and an ending. So the table on the screen shows how various authors identify stages. So we have Jacobs, Mason, and Harville, Tuckman and his famous um, group development, which is forming, storming, norming, and performing, Donegan and Malnati, Brabender, Fallon, and Smaller, and Corey. So as you can see, um, there are similarities between other stages of group development. So we have here from Tuckman, and then we can see in Brabender, Fallon, and Smaller, and Corey, the formation of the group is the start. But the following stage is already different. So the difference in each um, thoughts of stages is evident between the authors. We have here another table for the authors. We have Bales, Tuckman, Northern, Hartford, Klein, Trekker, and Schiller. So as you can see, I have grouped them already into what we consider the beginning, the middle, and the ending of each developmental stage of group formation. It was fascinating to note how different the authors view group development and group process. And I know there is no almost as similarities unlike the table I've shown earlier. So the beginnings mostly start with planning and moves on to different processes incorporating or keeping in the mind keeping in mind issues, conflict, or other relational aspects that may arise within the group. And then the end would usually pertain to termination of the form group as they have accomplished their purpose. And then we come to why is it important to know the stages of the group development? Because it helps us predict problems. So when it comes to group dynamics or group process, group development, or even just in our everyday lives, problems arise unexpectedly. That's why we have to predict them and already come up for a solution that for what could possibly happen. So when we predict the problems that can arise, we develop intervention um, process so that this will not affect the group development. And then it gives us directions. So the group will have a certain goal. So why did we form this group in the first place? What do we wish to accomplish? So it will be highlighted in this part. And then the first is Corey's six-stage model of group development. So on his first stage, he wrote the pre-group issues formation of the group. So Corey says na it all starts with recruitment. We plan first. Who do we want to recruit? Who do we want to attract? What population? May it be the students or the working class, etc. So we want to attract them to participate by giving the details of what would happen and the goal we have set. And then next to come with screening. So we don't just accept anyone who wants to join the group. So there has to have a screening or evaluation of how these recruits would perform within the group. So we have to assess compatibility of variables, the personality, the age, the culture, the beliefs. And the next would be the pre-group meeting. So you have to give them an orientation of activities they may have to do, the task they may have to accomplish, to know the first name of other members. And then lastly, the preparation of group members. So this may pertain to uh, preparing physically and emotionally. So they have to have already the materials that they need and just done the tasks they have to follow, etc. The next one is planning model for group work proposed by Tosland and Rivas in 2009. So the first stage he proposed is purpose. So by purpose, it may be for research, for an experiment, for mere interaction, for group counseling, or for group therapy, for group work, and of course, group dynamics. So when it comes to the pre-stage or the preparation stage, you have to state the purpose of your development, your process, so that everyone can understand um, why you are doing this and that you can move in a certain direction. And then we have group sponsorship and membership. So if you want to um, a particular group, so you plan ahead and you ask them whether they want to be part. So it may lead to sponsorship and membership. And then recruiting members and attracting members. So how do we attract members or participants? So first of all, you have to know what you're looking for. You have to lay out criteria for your participant. So it may consist of um, variables like age, sex, location, occupation, certain qualities like introversion or extroversion, being athletic, etc. So you may recruit members by advertising it online or using the classic word of the mouth or use referrals from your friends, your families, or people you may know. And then group composition, forming the group. So I think this is just like Corey's screening. So we have to evaluate how individual members' characteristics will affect yung group cohesion and also compatibility and eventually how they interact within the group. So we have to foresee already um, their behaviors when they become a group. One who forms the group may already have a set of idea on the particular group composition, so they may already elect a leader and then specific members. But they may also choose to have the members choose for themselves if they are willing to be the leader or just a mere member. And then next is orienting members to the group. So the facilitator or therapist or the counselor would lay out the expectations and help understand and help the participants adapt faster. Contracting. So this is a settled agreement between the members and the facilitator. So this is important uh, to both parties as they outline expectations, emphasize rights, prevent conflict. It's also a record of responsibilities and obligations and what each of them can gain in this process. And lastly, we have preparing the group's environment. So this is also an essential factor. Not only do we have to prepare for the group itself, but also we have to prepare their environment. So this means the area where the group will do their work or their tasks. So it should be a place that will not hinder the group process. It has to have adequate space, good lighting, good ventilation, and it should be free from noise so that they won't be distracted and so on. And then I also included Jacob's, Mason, and Harville's beginning stage, since it also highlights or showcases some similar aspects of preparation stage. So it starts with the same one, purpose, and then expectations. But what is new here and what I want to focus on is the next three. Okay. So in a group, there has to have a set of rules or guidelines. So group rules help avoid misunderstandings and um, it helps create a safe environment for everyone. And then comfort levels. So many people may seem uncomfortable sharing their business with others. So at the very start, we already anticipate or be aware of this and provide measures that can accommodate everyone and their comfort levels. And then lastly, the content of the group. So this may pertain to the qualities of every individual group members. So information about their personality, their preference, and how they usually act within a group. So these are all vital information to consider when we prepare for group development process. So that is all for my report. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learned some insights.